Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at how we can actually work with inline views, that special type of subquery that exists in either the from or the join clause in Oracle SQL. As you can see right here, I've got just a quick example of that. I have select sub.fieldName from, and then I have my subquery right here specified with the parens around it as always. And I have select name column as field name, primary ID as other from some rando table, and I have that aliased as sub, where sub.other is greater than 123. So I can have an example of the structure of that right there. It's simply just a reference table in there, and I use a quick alias of that table with the sub right there. So I'm referencing that on there to make sure that happens as a subquery. That's just the demo of the structure of that. Let's take a look at that, how we can actually see it with an actual result and see what happens with it. So I want to do a from clause for selecting the top end results. Now, one of the nice things we can do when we're doing a subquery inside the from or the join clauses, we have access to a lot more. We can do more with our SQL queries with that, including access to the order by, since we're doing a full query inside that, because it's an inline view. It's a view of data that's presented and referenced directly inside our data query. So I have select top end section and top end section count from in my query itself, where I have select and then reg.section ID as section, count star as section count, from registration reg, group by reg.section ID, order by, which I normally can't do in a subquery, and section count descending. I'm enabling that top end because that's a great alias, exactly what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to use the row num pseudo column, so I'm going to grab that row num was less than 10, so I can get the top values for that. So I'll go ahead and run this query right here, and so we can run that result. And so you can see right here I have my 9 rows that are selected with that. So I have section 11409 has a section count of 32. And then my lowest one right here at 9 is 10813 is the section ID. And it has a count of 19 inside that. So I can have that many sections of that. So we have that, oh, I've got that registration count for that. So I've got a lovely bit of information I actually can use to make that happen. So that's how we can do a top end result with a subquery inside our from clause. Now, if I put a subquery inside a join clause, I want to make sure that I explicitly call out that I need to have that PK-FK relationship identified specifically. So I have reg.sectionID as rando sections from registration reg, and I'm joining that to my subquery right here, where I'm selecting stu.studentID, which is that PK-FK relationship, first name and last name as well from student stu, or my phone number is like 77 inside it. I know it's useful information, but hey, it's a demo. I'm naming that certain. And then for my on clause, I limit those results to have that exact match of that PK-FK relationship, where certain.studentID matches the reg.studentID. So I can get that information correctly selected from that. And so if I go and run this first query right here, my inner query, and I run that, I've got 200 rows selected from that directly with that. And if I do that registration right here for the whole query, I have that, oh, here are the rando sections that have that. And these are the sections that have students that have that 77 in their phone number. And I have the sections with that right there. And I can scroll through that. And boom, there's all the 400 rows, blah, blah, blah. But I can see how that works to make that happen. And so again, when we're working with an inline view, you can see how we can work it with a join clause, making sure that PK-FK relationship. If it's in a single from clause, we can do things like a top end relationship. And the idea that we have information we always correctly identify with that. I hope this is helpful. Cheers. See you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.